Awesome. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to learn about the how and why you should get started with YouTube for your career. This channel is particularly for developers, but this should apply to everyone across the board. Today, I have Aaron Miller with me, and he decided that he wanted to start YouTube himself. Aaron, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you?
So, hi everyone, I'm Aaron. Currently doing a coding bootcamp at the moment with Thinkful. Basically, I'm just learning how to do some YouTube today because I want to start making some tutorial videos. I've gotten a lot of value out of the YouTube community. Basically, it's helping me learn development, so I just kind of want to give back.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you're really excited to start doing it. I wish I would have started doing it earlier, and I hope that we get people excited excited in that way. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna share my whole screen, and now it's gonna go all whack
Crazy.
on us. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I think it's still gonna freak out. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we started with video, but we won't be able to overlay it because we had to change some tech today. But yeah, let's just get started. So a really big thing about this is you're going to want to quit really early with YouTube, or you're not going to get into it. And so it's really important to find your why. So you kind of mentioned your why, Aaron. You said you want to do tutorials and stuff like that. Did you have any other reasons why you can justify the investment?
So besides just doing like tutorials for others, well, one, doing like tutorials is good for me, kind of reinforces everything that I'm learning, but it also helps show, like, I'm hoping that when I go out to like job search that I can show like, hey, I actually know what I'm talking about. And, I'm actually really involved in the community.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. So I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted. My girl's up, but
no worries.
From what I caught there, you said you basically, it's a lot. Part of this, what I heard, is personal branding, right? You want people to see you as an expert. Is that right?
Yeah, like, so I want people to be able to know, like, for sure, like, that I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to development, and yeah, just let people see that in addition to teaching others.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely think there's some good ones. So I listed out multiples for mine, and any of the more reasons we can think of, the more that's going to drive us to keep doing this, right? So
Yeah.
Personal branding, solidifying learning. So when you teach other people, you're going to learn more and deeper. Networking is a big one for me. I found that just doing YouTube right now, it's helping me to network. And I know that, I hope in the future that we can kind of build a community together, those that follow me, and that we can help each other find jobs and just really connect. It's really fun to connect with others. Teaching, better communication. I enjoy making videos personally. I've done it for a while. I'm not expert at it. And then the final thing is like making side money or going viral or becoming, popular. Those things are kind of interesting to me, but that's like the last thing that's ever going to happen, right? So I think a lot of people think that's the first thing. So if that's the main reason why you're going into it, just know it's going to be a long haul to get there, potentially, unless you're really, really committed. You're going to quit your day job and you're going to go all in and learn everything really quick. So, cool. So what tools do you need? What tools have you thought that you needed to get started, Aaron?
Basically what I've seen before, it's basically just like, if I have like, like my headset and my webcam and an internet connection, pretty much good to go.
Yeah, and that's right. Some people get stuck into the mindset of, oh, I need all this lighting and I need everything else. Are you planning on doing any vlogging though?
I might do a little bit of that. I'm planning on doing like more maybe on the blog side, and then like just like the quick little tutorials
Okay.
on YouTube. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Some of this stuff, and we didn't coordinate super big about what Aaron was looking for. I'm glad we didn't, because I think I'll didn't touch on some things that you might not have thought of. Um, but yeah, you're right. You don't need a lot. You kind of just need a voice, a story, right? So your story is your tutorials, time, and internet connection. Like, this is really all you need: a camera, and microphone, or your computer. So that's exactly the required things that you need. Um, some free software you might not have thought of before is like for making your thumbnails. So you want people to actually click on your videos. This is easier to do if you have. I guess you can get really complicated and go into making Photoshop and stuff, right? But I don't know if you've heard of Canva before.
Canva's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Canva is super sweet. I've used it for a few years, and here's kind of like this clickbaity title I have for one of the videos I did with an interview I did with Yihan, and you can see that there's a bunch of different templates and stuff you can use in here. It's a really quick way to get started, right? Absolutely free. Snapseed's another one. I haven't used it, but you can use it on your phone. How about editing? Have you heard of editing software you can use?
I've heard of it, but I don't know any of the editing softwares now.
Okay, so YouTube Editor is one that you can use, and I'll just pop that up, and you can see one of my videos here. The YouTube Editor has gotten more, it's gotten better over time. But one of the things that sucks about YouTube is if you want to do layered audio, it's not really going to work really well. You'll have to do your audio outside of YouTube. Some people like putting background audio on top of whatever they have. So this is like a really, really basic editor you can use. But if you're willing to invest a little bit of time, you can get something called Davinci Resolve. And I actually just found out this was free. And this is basically, have you heard of a Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro?
With respect to DaVinci, no.
Okay, so
just the general concept of those, yeah.
Yeah, so Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro, if you haven't heard of them before, they're like the two big editors in the space. One's on Mac and one's on all platforms. Final Cut Pro is on Mac. Davinci Resolve is basically just as good as those, and it's absolutely free for a majority of the uses. So it's really, really, really cool. So I would definitely recommend this. A lot of people are switching over to it from Premiere, from what I saw on YouTube. So
cool.
There are some other editors you could use. So I don't know if are you running a Mac or PC?
PC.
Okay. So if you're using PC, you could use something like Windows Movie Maker, perhaps. I haven't delved in that in a long time, and I don't even know if that's still a thing. But if you're going to do this full time, I say just go into DaVinci Resolve and put in the time to learn it.
Okay.
If you don't want to do that, try to find some other editor. I'll see if I can find a few other links, but these are good. These are a good start. As far as desktop capture, though, this is a big one for you, right?
Yeah, I definitely need the desktop capture to be pretty solid.
Okay, so there's QuickTime for Mac, and then there's Open Broadcast software for desktop. I've used Open Broadcast software in the past, and I found it to be a little bit difficult, but this was years ago, and software is always getting better. There is another free one out there that I'll drop in the links below. So make sure to check that out if you're thinking that these are too difficult to use. But I know a lot of people use Open Broadcast software, so that's probably the one I would recommend for you.
Right on.
Cool. Any questions on other software that I haven't thought of that you thought you might need?
No, I think this covers the basics.
Yeah.
Just because I know there's like all sorts of like little things I can do like to like maybe like tweak the audio or like video quality, this and that, the other. But I think the most important thing is just to get started.
Yeah, and we'll go into that. And Davinci Resolve, if you're like wanting to tweak your audio and video a lot, that's a place where investing time is going to be worth it. So,
Gotcha.
So let's say that you want to start blogging and stuff. You can get started with just using your. You can get started with just using what you have. Sorry, just a second. So I'm using a phone to do my recording, so for my vlogging and stuff. But there's a few things that you can upgrade. So you can get like a selfie stick. So this is one I got here. Manfred, I actually just barely ordered these. You could get a tripod as well. So if you're wanting to set up a camera. And then you're going to get a decent mount for your phone, because a lot of the times you can go get cheaper ones out there, right? You can get a selfie stick that's $10, but you don't want your $500 phone or $300 phone falling out of a $10 mount just because you save some money.
Yeah,
so yeah.
So it's not that much more expensive.
What's that?
Oh, I saw that was only like $16.
Yeah,
so
$16. Yeah, exactly. And then one of the tricks I do too is I look here and see if there's any used ones. I actually got this Manfrotto mount. I got this for like $10, and it had like a scratch on it. I was like, I don't care about scratches. Like, no one's gonna be seeing this thing.
Yeah, right.
So I got it for half price. Like, it retails for $25 or something, and it's 17 on here. So the big one, the big thing is to upgrade your audio quality. So let's say you have no money and you only have money to buy one thing. Even if you're just doing what you're doing with tutorials, you're gonna want to get the best audio you can. And my audio right now is bad. I'm picking up my little girl who's eating breakfast in the background because I don't have a good mic right now. And we'll go over why that is right in a second. But this microphone, from the reviews I've looked at, is really, really good because it's a directional mic that you can mount to your phone if you're doing like vlogging and stuff.
Cool.
I will try to find some. I'm not going to do it live here since we are live, but I will try to find a few other microphones that you might be able to use out of the box. Like, I can think of the blue. I think it's a Blue Yeti or whatever is one you can use. But getting good audio is really important. If you have, and two other things is you're going to want to look for a dynamic microphone if you have a lot of background noise. And you're able to be really close to your microphone. Those basically cut out a lot or all of the background noise. And then a condenser microphone it'll have a little bit richer audio, but it picks up everything. So that's where, I don't know if you've ever seen people have like the panels in their the panels that kind of deaden the sound. And that helps with any environment, but it's especially helps with the condenser microphones because they pick up even more. And I know the audiophiles are going to be like, man, you're so raw off on this. So go ahead and comment below on how off I am. But that's kind of just a primer. Is like, for you especially, get really decent audio. Like, I'd say the first thing you buy, get better audio, and then next get better lighting, right? Because those two things improve if you're doing vlogging. But for you, I'd get audio. Any other questions on any tools you thought you might need?
No, not so far. But I mean, it's really good to hear that like audio is like such an important factor. Like, I guess I kind of thought about it, but not fully.
Yeah, and I've heard this for years, and a lot of this stuff I've gotten from other YouTubers and stuff, and I don't like just ripping off people's content. I mean, I'm obviously not just copying and pasting this from other people, but I've been consuming a lot of media. I'm going to leave a link to in this video description, and I can send this to you separately as well. But I'm going to leave a link to a playlist I have for how to grow your YouTube, and it's going to have I'm going to keep adding to that. And it's going to have some really golden nuggets of content of how to just get started and maybe some of the videos behind the suggestions I'm making here. So I hope you'll find that useful as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So what content to provide? So what have you thought of as far as what you want to provide in your tutorials? Like what's going to make you different?
Right. So I guess I'm just kind of like hoping to like come in with like some like a decent energy, maybe a little bit of humor, and just focusing in on like basic like UK use cases and like just cool little interesting things you can do with coding. Because I know it's a lot of tutorial videos. They're awesome at teaching concepts, but maybe it's not exactly clear like when you would apply this concept.
Right. No, that's great. And that's something I thought of before too. Is I think we definitely need more energy and humor in things. Um, a lot of the tutorial content is delivered in a pretty dry way. I can think of some exceptions. I don't want to diss anyone. Like we all have different talents and skills, but um, I can think of an exception. Like if you've heard of Fun Function.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
guy's awesome.
he's awesome. MPJ. I can't pronounce his whole name because I'm not cool like that. But yeah, I think he does. That's his initials is MPJ. So yeah, so you mentioned some good stuff there. I have some more on this slide that I'm showing right now, right? So um, some key concepts you'll want to start learning is how to tell a story, even with your tutorials, is like the why behind your videos, right? And how to asking good questions during your videos can get more engagement as well. Um, we talked a little bit about the thumbnails. Thumbnails is just as important as your video. And a lot of the videos that I've been watching, they're like, you spend 8 hours on this video and then you spend 2 seconds on your thumbnail, right? And you're not going to get any views because you didn't do like that little extra bit of work. So something I haven't thought of more until recently. And some people do really good with simple thumbnails, but it helps to have better ones, right? And they have to really match your content. So you basically want to give people what they expect with your thumbnail and your title. So I try to make clickbaity titles that are still, I might say clickbaity, meaning that like that's the type of title, but it's still pertinent and real as to what the content is. Like people don't arrive to my content and be like, man, this totally wasn't what I was expecting, right? And I hope people don't feel like they got ripped off when they see my video. And then the other thing is a call to action. So each video you want some type of call to action. So it's like, hey, watch my next video, or comment or subscribe. You know, it depends on. I think one of the channels I watch is Video Creators, and he says it's really important that you do like just one call to action, so you're not getting you're not like, subscribe, go to my Instagram, buy my product, and do this all at the same time, right? And it's like
All the things.
yeah, do all the things, right? I wish I could like pop a meme up right now, but yeah. But call to actions, you've probably heard of them before. I know you've seen them before, but it's just getting people. It's you think that people will just naturally do these things, but think about what marketing is. You know, people are telling you go buy a Burger King burger, right? Or go buy McDonald's or whatever else. So that's kind of what content to provide. Did you have any questions or did anything spark any ideas there?
I think the only thing that kind of came up in my mind for like clickbaity titles, the resource I think I would probably go to is copyhackers.com.
Oh, I think I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
Cool.
they have like this like the ultimate guide to like headlines, but do you have like any other suggestions on coming up with good clickbaity titles?
I'm glad you brought that up because that's a golden nugget right there. Mostly, I think most of it is. So I was watching another video on YouTube creators. Is you can kind of start looking for. You can type in the title bar, and you can type in like, let's say it's Python, right? So you could type in Python space or you're probably doing JavaScript. So it's just JavaScript space, and then see whatever auto comes up, and you can find some keywords that you can put inside of your title that might be pertinent to your specific video, or find the types of videos that you want to make.
Oh, cool.
That's not specific to your question. I'm not perfect at making these titles. A lot of people say, you know, just start looking at news and stuff and see what type of titles are out there. But I think I'm guessing that the what was it, copy
Copy hackers.
Copy hackers. I'm guessing that's probably a great resource just to get started. Have you read that stuff yet?
I have. It's pretty solid stuff. It gives you, there's like the ultimate guide to headlines or something like that. If you Google it, ultimate guide to headlines, it's quite literally what it says. Like basically any sort of situation you can think of for a headline, it's there, and like how to use it.
That's way cool. Yeah, and I think part of me thinks that you kind of just have to start doing it as well as reading about it, and that's kind of how all this stuff is. Like, don't just go and don't watch this video right now. If whoever's watching this, don't watch this and be like, I'm going to go consume video creators and Nick Nimmin and all these other people and learn how to do YouTube, because you're going to get stuck in that learning cycle, right?
Yeah, you can learn until you're dead, but
right, you can learn until you're dead. So just start. Don't get analysis paralysis with this stuff. And then I say that because I'm having those issues right now with my YouTube channel. It's like, how do I make this title perfect, and how do I do this? And it's like, don't worry about it. It's just start doing it. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Like now that you mentioned that too, like I know I can't remember any examples, but I've definitely seen some other YouTubers that are really great, you know, show some of their original first videos, and it's just some guy sitting in a room with a microphone, and it's terrible, but yeah, just getting started.
Yeah, just like this video, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm here. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm just gonna show up and try, and there we go.
Yeah, exactly. So and I think that's kind of where we're getting started. So this link right here, to Buddy, I don't know if you've heard of this before. This is an affiliate link. So I get, if you guys decide, this is an absolutely free extension. But if you decide to use it, I say it's absolutely free. They have a upgrade one, but if you decide to use it, it will help me even if you just use the free version. So I'd appreciate it if you use that link. But it's really cool because it helps you with doing all of your optimization and stuff, and I'll show you that in a bit. But if you do decide to pay for it or whatever, that helps my channel too. So that's it for my ad portion of this. But and I don't like recommending stuff that I wouldn't use. So but have you seen how to upload a video on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's real easy. So if you're on your channel, you just go upload video. And actually what we're doing right now is going live. And your go live, you definitely don't want to put live if you want to like add extra like thumbnails and stuff to it. You can actually hide them like this. So you see where it says public?
Yeah.
When you first upload your video, never let it be just public. It's going to hurt you. Because you want to optimize your title, you want to put a good thumbnail on there, all these different things. So you either want to do, typically I do it to private or unlisted before you go and publish it. I think private's probably the best one. So you just do private, and then you just drag a video in there or click, and you upload it. So you upload your either your final video if you're using Davinci Resolve, or you're using some like iMovie or whatever you have access to, or you can use the YouTube editor, right? But that's limited. So I'm not going to go through that entire process. There's a lot of videos out there that'll show you that, but I will show you the optimization part. So once your video is uploaded and everything, let's kind of look at what that looks like. So I don't know. Have you even seen my channel before, Aaron? I can't remember if I sent it to you.
No, first time I'm seeing it. So
okay. You can run in horror now. So cool. So this is one of my most popular videos, and by popular I mean I have over 100 views, which is nothing, right, on YouTube. But you can see I have this title that I thought was good at the time, right? And I have this description, which is pretty horrible. There's a lot of things you can do in here to optimize it. I wanted to show you what TubeBuddy will do for you. So you see right here, it'll show you the best practices you can do on
cool.
And if you upgrade, it'll do a bunch of things for you. I'm just using the free version right now. It'll also tell you kind of which tags you can add. So I've started using that feature. But you can kind of guess what tags you should add to your videos. And you want these to be pertinent to what you kind of have to think, okay, if I was searching these keywords, if someone's searching these keywords, would they want to click on my video? And is it pertinent to my video, right? So
right.
A big I don't know if you've heard of John Sonmez. He used to do a lot of soft skills stuff. He's more into motivation, Tony Robbins type stuff now.
Okay.
But he used to do a lot of soft skills, and he has some great content. And I put John Sonmez in there because my content is similar to his. I don't know if that's the best strategy, but that's kind of just what I'm doing right now, right? I'm just learning. But yeah, your YouTube video URL is up here. And once you're ready, so let's say you've optimized all this, you've uploaded your thumbnail, right? So you can upload your thumbnail that you made in Canva on here. You've done all this different stuff. You've added your video to a playlist. This is going to be really important for you. You're going to want to create your own playlists, right? So if you say, okay, I have a bunch of React tutorials I want to do, you're going to want to add that to a playlist and then let people know, let people know that this is part of a series, or put it inside your title, or whatever you want to do. If you break it up into 10 different videos, so that you can get some people to start just consuming your content like crazy, because that's going to get you more views, right? So basically what it is, the longer that people are on YouTube, the more that your video is going to get promoted by YouTube. And that's the long and short explanation of how to get popular, I guess. So the longer view time, the better. So yeah, I think that's like the simplest way you can explain how to go viral, I guess.
So it sounds like, like in that I want to make like maybe like shorter videos, maybe not like too short. So like each one can get like a decent amount of view time. Is that right?
There's a lot of nuance there. Because what'll happen is I watched this other SEO video and I'll have to remember to add it to my list. But let's say that you have two videos on YouTube and one's 10 minutes long and one's 3 minutes long. If the 10-minute one is getting more total watch time, so if it's at least getting 4 minutes of watch time and the other one's getting only 3 because it's only 3 minutes long, the other one might perform better.
Oh, okay.
But that being said, getting audience retention is really important as well. So let me go into my analytics here, and so I can show you what I'm talking about. So this is my best performing video. So I'm able to keep, and you might be like, oh man, people are only watching, an average of 2 minutes of your video. You should see my other videos. It's bad, right? Like for the one with Yehan that I did, that interview, I only have like 4 or 7% audience retention. And that means that for all my unique visitors or clicks or something like that, that's how long on average they're watching my video, right? And then it shows you which parts of the video that they're watching. So they might actually scrub through your video. So you might see like you might see a peak. You can kind of see a little peak here, and it drops here and then it peaks again. People are might be scrubbing through my video trying to find where the good content is. And that's where you want to kind of keep people on board the whole time. So does that make sense at all?
Yeah, so it sounds like it's important to try to go ahead and just like keep their attention throughout the video and to have enough interesting stuff so that they want to complete the entire video, not just like click around like, oh, where's the part that I actually wanted to see?
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's why you want to kind of, that's when I opened up this video, for example, I told people what we're going to be talking about. And you'll see if you watch, if watching YouTube helps a lot because you like consuming YouTube, you'll see that a lot of videos will start with this little clip as like kind of the most interesting part of their entire video. And then they'll jump into their video. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah. It's kind of like a little trailer.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little trailer, but it sometimes it's like with no context at all. It's just jumping in and it kind of gets you intrigued. And then you're like, oh man, I want to find the context around that part of the video. So you watch the whole thing, right? To get to that little nugget. So it's stuff like that. And I'm going way too deep for a beginner's one. So
that's okay.
But yeah, this is there's just a lot of stuff to do here. So don't be overwhelmed by this. Like, let's say that you're like, man, I'm overwhelmed just by the description and the title and the keywords. I'd say like, just put a good title in here, put a couple keywords, put a little bit of a description and post it. Like, if it's going to keep you from making YouTube videos, whatever's keeping you from making YouTube videos, ignore it in the beginning. That's like some of the best advice I can give you. So for example, today, like I don't have my mic set up correctly, right? I don't, it's early in the morning. I don't look great. Like how many excuses can I come up with for not making this video today? Right. I'll give you another one, like to be perfectly honest, like I'm overweight right now. Right. So it's like, oh man, I don't look my best. I don't look like, you can come up with excuses to China. Right. Like, and to keep you from creating. But I can tell you that when I decided with, I was actually Yihan, if you watch that video, after that video is only an hour long, but we talked for 2.5 hours. We're good buddies from high school. And I was telling him, I was calling him out. I'm like, dude, you got to start making YouTube again. He kind of started before me, and we made an agreement together to make videos consistently for 3 months. So I'm trying. So my attempt is to do 2 videos a week, but I have to do at least 1. And so my mindset is I'm going to get at least 1 done because I'm shooting for 2. So
like I'm meeting at least halfway, so we're good.
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at. Any questions on any of this here?
Nah, I'm good on this part. I think it'll make more sense when I start diving in.
Yeah, and there's a whole other YouTube creator section. Like YouTube has a whole university on how to do all this stuff. So there's a lot to go into here. So yeah. One of the things that I didn't realize, and this was kind of different back in the day, because YouTube algorithm keeps changing, is you really need to promote your content when you're first getting started. So that means whatever platform you have to advertise on, so that be it that your Facebook, right? Do you use Facebook?
Not currently, no.
You know, okay. So what social media do you use?
At the moment, I'm not too big on the social media thing, but it sounds like I probably need to start getting back into some of it.
It will help. Do you have, I imagine you have friends that you have emails of, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's one way you can promote your content, right? So let's say you have no social media. I'm glad you don't, because this has made me think of this. So let's say you have no social presence, or you just don't use it very often. I don't use Facebook a ton, but I'm starting to use it just to promote my content. Then just go ahead and get your link. So when you go to your page, you're just going to go ahead and grab your link right here and copy it, and you're going to go say, hey everybody, watch my video on YouTube, right? And that's going to help. And you want to do this within the biggest time frame for you to get views on your video is within like the first 24 hours. So you want to get everyone you can to watch your video, and YouTube will reward you by showing more people your video, right? And there's it's a very nuanced thing. They use, I think they use over, it might be thousands of data points. I have no idea, but that's just a little tidbit there. So promote your content. Otherwise, for example, I made a video about a year ago. So it was October of 2017. It was on how to use Chrome DevTools. I was like, you know, I'm gonna get some views on this, right? I said, how to use Chrome DevTools. I can't remember what title I used. I don't think the video is even up anymore. I think I took it down because I was like, whatever. Or it's on another channel or something. But basically, I was like, you know, I'll ask you, how many views do you think I would get on a how to use Chrome DevTools? It was like 6 minutes long. How many would you think?
I'm not sure.
Well, I was thinking, you know, I might get a couple hundred views or something like that. I got 11 views on that video in like a year.
Ooh.
And I think I still promoted it. So I think I might have told people about it. So yeah, that's rough, right? When you're first making a video, like that's something that can keep you from making content too. You're like, no one's watching my stuff. And a really big thing that I've gained from YouTubers is act like every single person that watches your video is valuable, right? So if you start thinking, if I can change one person's life today in some way, like we were saying at the beginning of this video, if this video doesn't work, like at least I'm teaching you something. Like even if I don't make this video,
yeah,
you know, like I'm helping you, right? So, and I think that's how, if you start acting in that way, and thinking, it's going to get you to where you can get a lot of subscribers, because you're going to be delivering so much valuable content because you actually care, that people are going to start following you. So just really deliver all the value you can to your, even if you have one subscriber, right, or one view. So, and
yeah, that's awesome.
It'll eventually come, and this is a mindset shift for me I've made. It's like, man, that's really so right, because the more value you deliver, the more people are going to want your content.
Exactly. And I think on the flip side too, like in some ways, like I know my first videos are not going to be so great compared to videos I'll make later. So if they don't get that many views, that's probably awesome, because then they don't have to see how terrible my first videos will be, but I'll be learning along the way. So it's worth it. Right.
But honestly, I think this is pride on my part, but I see the other YouTubers that are popular, and I'm like, man, I can provide a lot of value here. Like I don't want to diss other people, but it's like, you see other content and you're like, man, like I could do this better, or I can do this better than them, or I feel like I can deliver more value in this way, right? And that's for me, that's a personal motivator to keep going, is because I know I can provide value that's not being provided right now, right? And obviously we all have different strengths and weaknesses, so they're going to provide value in a different way than you can, but there's room for all of us, right?
Exactly.
And I guess the other thing I didn't have here that kind of goes completely 180 against that mindset of competition is the abundance mentality. So stop thinking that everyone's going to steal your views, or that you're in competition with everyone else and you're going to start growing. And so, for example, I had an idea for some videos we're going to release regarding Pramp, if you've heard of that platform before. It's where you can do technical interviews, and this past week they've done some beta testing stuff. I was like, man, it'd be really cool to do this for my channel. I haven't edited them yet. I've already filmed several of them. I filmed all the ones I'm going to do this week, and so there's this other YouTuber, and I was on LinkedIn. I was like, man, at first I was thinking, because I'm interacting with these other, I'm all over the place with my thoughts, but one of the way you can get engagement is to interact and give valuable content to other people's channels that are like yours. So not spamming them and just dropping your link to your channel on there, but engaging, right? So saying really good things and go, man, you great job with this video. And I like this and this and this about React or whatever you're talking about. And people are naturally going to go, is this guy a YouTuber? And they're going to click on you, find your channel, and then subscribe, right? But if you just go and spam your channel, and I've done this before, right? I'm not perfect. And a lot of people do this. If you just go and spam your channel to other people's feeds, people don't like being advertised at anymore like that, right? We don't like being hard sold on things. We want to get the value first, and then we're going to reciprocate. So, anyway, that was a long way to say that I have this other YouTuber that I follow, and I was thinking, anyway, I was interacting with him actually on LinkedIn because he posts his content there as well. And I told him, I was thinking, I was like, man, I need to not be worried that he's going to go do the same thing, because he actually started filming pramp videos. I don't know if I got the idea from him originally or not, but the day before or the day of that he posted that video, like I was thinking of doing pretty much what he was doing. So I was like, man, this is really cool. We're on the same level. And so instead of being in competition with him, I said, hey, did you know that they're doing this week? And I gave him a link. I don't know if he filmed any of it, but I thought, I was thinking, I was having an abundance mentality and sharing everything I know, even if it might hurt me, or I could think it might hurt me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to think, because if you view everything in terms of abundance, you're not so worried, and you can relax and just do you. I think that'll come across a little bit more natural than anything else.
Right. And it's a better mindset to have, right? We have way too much scarcity in the world, and we really need to be just more giving. So
right on.
I'm not perfect at that. I have a scarcity mentality. I'm trying to switch into the abundance mentality. So just to be clear, releasing consistently. So if you do this, Aaron, if you say, hey, I'm going to start doing YouTube, like commit to a time frame and release consistently, release at least weekly, if you can.
Okay.
The more YouTube benefits you, I believe the algorithm benefits you if you release more frequently. And I don't know if you've heard of the long tail before of the internet. Have you heard of that concept?
I have. My understanding of it, it's like there's like all the top keywords that make up a large chunk of like how much people search for something, but like the majority of all searches is like in this really long tail, like all these random little keywords, maybe like misspellings or just different ways of thinking of something.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, it's just that over time, it's a concept of over time, people will find you because you have so much content out there, right? So, like right now, I only have 4 videos. And so, I mean, you might see my channel and think, man, why would I want to join this guy's channel? He doesn't have enough content, right? And so the more I release, once I get 20 and 40 and 60 videos in there, I'm going to have diverse content that's going to appeal to a lot of people. And that being said, eventually, as you create your channel, you're going to want to have a good channel name, right? So honestly, for you, you're probably just going to want to personal brand it. And I'd recommend for anyone that's wants to get into their career, just do personal branding. And this is why. We can always change what our career is, right? But changing our channel name might be directly tied to what our career currently is or what it's at. So if you say, so if I name my channel Tyler Sequel Channel, right? And I decide I want to flip to something else, or if I just say Sequel Guru, and I'm not a sequel guru by any means. I actually don't. That's not my favorite at all. But if it's sequel guru and I say, hey, man, I hate SQL now. I'm going to go into PHP. I'm going to go into React or whatever, and I want to rename it React. Well, now I have all this content that was SQL Guru, and now I'm going to rename it React Guru. And to me, it just makes more sense just to say I'm Tyler Lemke and I have all this different content and I'm an expert at different things, right? Or um, people just come to one place, and like for you, you want to be seen as someone who knows what they're doing, and you want to get your name out there, right? So, because it helps you in so many different ways with business. So that's that's something I didn't put there. And then the other thing that goes with that is you want to have a niche. So you don't want to, if you want to get good at YouTube, you want to have a niche. Sorry, if you want to get a lot of views. So you don't want to, you may want to create separate channels if you're going to do like a daily vlog that shows you surfing or whatever, right? Let's say I'm a surfer. I'm going to have a daily vlog of surfing, and then I'm also going to go do my programming tutorials. I'm pretty sure those two audiences are vastly different. So
probably, but you never know.
Right. But think of the channels you subscribe to. Do they give you consistent content that you're familiar with?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
right. So
channel I go to has like some sort of theme to it.
Right. And honestly, my theme for my channel is going to be more variety. I might do tutorials, but I am also going to do career stuff, and I'm also going to have a podcast where I tell people stories, but it's all around development and making your software career better, right? So I'm thinking of people who are into learning, into mastery, and into leveling up their career with software development, or who've run into roadblocks and want to level up their career. That's the type of person I'm looking for. So, but I might keep fine tuning it, right? So it's something that's moving. And you have to see where you're moving and where the interest is, and eventually you'll get to your niche, right? So you might niche in on, I'm thinking of Traversy Media. Do you watch that guy?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure that I know him.
Dude, that's so funny because I think he's like the biggest tutorials guy on YouTube. So,
wow. So what was his name again?
Traversy? I think it's Traversy Media, and I think his name's Travis, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm gonna get a bunch of YouTube comments about, wow, that's the wrong name. People are trolling, so that'll be fun. But yeah, he has 500,000 subscribers, and he does YouTube. And I think his niche is all web development, but that's still a pretty big niche, right? Like, but that's worked for him. So, but it's definitely something to think about. If you're going to release stuff all over the place, you can do that and then eventually go to whatever makes sense. But it's just like, I relate it back to my career, right? If you're chasing a job, I found this looking for jobs, and I'll probably do a video on it actually. But if you're chasing a job and you're constantly moving what you're studying according to whatever job posting you just saw, it's insanity, right? If you're like, man, I'm gonna learn React now, and then, man, I'm gonna learn PHP, and man, I'm gonna learn this, and it's like, no, learn what you want to learn and then apply to those jobs, right? So it's the same mindset. I just went a huge rant on that, but I hope that was a little useful.
No, I'm actually glad you just said that, because I'm just kind of like now getting into like the job search phase too. And yeah, I was definitely getting a little bit of that mindset, because like, just like you said, like, like, oh, I'm seeing a lot of like PHP, I'm seeing a lot of SQL, I'm seeing a lot of WordPress or whatever it is. And then I don't know, it just feels like, oh, maybe I should learn this and this and this. But I'm glad that you said that, it makes more sense just to, take my strengths, focus on those, and, kind of go from there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mentioned this way early in the video, is releasing is greater than perfection, right? So, if you, and I should have put on here, releasing good videos is better than releasing, right? But I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that crap is better than quality, but I'm going to say that anything is better than nothing, right? So, definitely. And that's loosely, right? You don't want to release things that are going to destroy your career or say stupid things. Like, we live in a very tumultuous time. If you say the wrong thing, or if you are actually racist or anything like that, you can destroy your career. So I guess the first thing is don't be racist nowadays. And the second thing is if you are racist, definitely don't broadcast that, right? But as far as other content, right? So don't be worried about being wrong with something technically, and state where you are in your videos. Like, if you're unsure of something, like let people know, hey, I'm just getting started at this, but this is how I understand how things work. But if you're really confident, if you like read through MDN, right, the Mozilla Developer Network, and you're really confident about how this one thing works because you just read something, like MDN has documentation on JavaScript, right? And it's edited by 100 people, right? So if you've just read something and you're very confident in it, then be very confident. Go, I'm sure it works this way, and I'll put a link as to why in the description. But what I'm getting at is don't be afraid to release things just because some troll on the internet's going to say what you did wrong, right? Because they're going to. But the other thing is, especially for you, is get better and get really good so that what you are teaching is correct, because you are responsible when you create this content to be good, because you're teaching other people. And if you teach people the wrong way, all you're doing is magnifying your own mistakes, right? So
and that's some of my motivation with these videos is like, it gives like that like extra boost of like wanting to make sure like I'm on point and like I really learn this stuff thoroughly so I can like teach others the right thing and not just something.
Right. So if I start doing more tutorial videos, I'm probably when I'm first doing them and I'm only early in my career, I'm going to say, hey, if you notice anything I made any mistakes with, please comment below so that we can all learn together. Right. So I don't feel, even though I want to be an authority on this thing, and I think you should try to act like you're an authority, but there's always stuff we can learn, and there's always different ways of doing things. So, and you're always going to be proven wrong by someone, like no matter how good you are, because the thing is, you're not an expert in everything, right? But you might have to talk about everything. If you're a full stack developer, you have to talk about a lot of things, and you can be wrong about some of them, right? Or just have a slight misunderstanding. So, and along with that same thing is utilizing incremental improvements. So get your, start creating videos and then start, using the 1% or 2% strategy. I think Brian Tracy talks about that. If you can get 2% better every day, by the end of the year, you're 1,000% better. So in 1 year, you can get your video quality can go up like crazy. And this is about self-awareness and actually knowing what you're doing. Yeah, I think, I wonder if that's it. I think that's my last slide, man. So.
Oh, right on.
I don't know if that was useful or if that was what you're looking for, but that's what you got.
Oh yeah, it was pretty helpful, like just to see like a little bit about like some of the tools and considerations to make, and just try to get myself in the mindset of like I'm about to start creating videos. Okay, how do I get going?
Right. No, exactly. And I'd love to help you. And if you want to connect after this, I'd say we can connect and go make be accountability partners as well. And go, hey, did you release your video yet? And we can do that afterwards. So if you're interested, hit me up, man.
That sounds good. It sounds like we're in a somewhat similar place. Just like trying to get everything off the ground. So that's good.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Aaron. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I'll send you the links to all this and the video. And make sure to check below if you're watching this video. I'm going to put all the links to everything that I talked about below. So check that out. All right, Aaron. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining us.
You too. Thanks, man.
All right, take care.